Good morning, guys. Good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning. You know, I gotta do a little rotation, right? What you're gonna see here is if there was any part of like my process that you're wanting more detail about, this is that. This is the full length, like 25 minutes of footage that was shot that wasn't really put into the 10-minute film. So, last thing. Did Facebook Live this morning for like, I don't know, Facebook Live, Instagram Live, all that for an hour-ish, and it went great. So if you're struggling thinking about doing that, and you're like, I don't want to do it, just do it. Just do it. Stop making excuses. All right, this is going to talk about the workflow of creating 40 pieces of micro content, 10 chapters, which are 1-minute clips, out of one 10-minute film, the full kind of cut. All right, catch you guys. Not catch you guys, jump in. Stop talking, Will. Let me give you a quick tip. Like, this is also goes along with creating this, 10-minute beast of a film that you can spread across the interwebs and chop up. It took me a very long time to understand how to get audio sound beds to work with voice as well. Like, when you listen to music and the rappers are just like going nonstop, like yeah, blah, blah blah, whatever. Like, that takes the sound engineer behind that knows what they're doing, because if you put any type of regular soundtrack that you get like from Epidemic Sound or whatever on top of just your voice, you're gonna have to cut the soundtrack and just have the voice, or you're gonna have to like lower the volume down quite a lot, and sometimes you just lose a lot in that. A better way to do that I discovered, it took a while for me to figure this out, is bass and snares are always good with voice. You might have melodies and all sorts of other stuff going on within the soundtrack, but bass and drums. Bass typically can always be played at just the regular amount that it already was in the track, and the snares, if you take them down to like -15 in like Final Cut Pro or whatever you're using for video editing, it sounds great. Just make sure to like fade it down and fade it up when you do it. If you want more information kind of about how I'm doing my sound design as of late, just let me know. I'll make a video about it. Alright, so let's get into the meat of today's content. I really wanted to expand on the success of yesterday's film. Let me just explain. Let me tell you a bit about that. One, it was a success for several reasons. One, the fact that I was able to get up and just do it, that's always killer. That's always killer success. So, like, if you're up early as hell in the morning, like I always am, big up to you. That's first and foremost. Now, second, I've been trying to create quality. I'm saying quality, micro content, pillar content, all that stuff. If you follow Gary Vee, you'll know what I'm talking about. If you don't, like, pause this video, look up Gary Vee, and just listen to this dude for like 10 days straight, and then come back to me, and you'll be right on the same page. But for anyone that's not going to do that, Gary Vee is a master of creating just long interview style, keynote style content, things that are like 45 minutes long, and then just having his team chop it up into 1-minute bites, 15-second bites, 10-minute bites, all that. And take it that he has a team of 800 people. So it seems easy, but it's not by the least. But I've figured out a strategy for the rest of us that don't have an 800 team, staff team or whatever, to do all the hard work for them. So this is what you want to do. You're going to record like you usually do throughout the day. Then the clip that and the footage from yesterday's film, I literally only recorded for a max amount of maybe 30 minutes. And I'm not talking about like the camera on like I was preaching previous. Like I literally recorded the happy birthday song with my son, recorded him kind of just playing on his new toy, and literally like a couple other clips. Like I'm talking about probably 2, 4, or 5 minutes worth of actual like recording. So not a big deal there. That's just the day to day, right? Now the original idea that I had was taking some footage I'd done before, just like I was in the car talking about documenting and mashups. I originally was going to do that film, so I woke up that morning just like, whatever, I'll do that. It's just kind of footage that's sitting there. And that turned into something so much more. So hold on to the idea of just the footage you shot for the day, right? Yeah, those clips, maybe that's relative to what you're talking about right now, like this is, or maybe it has nothing to do with it. A hard part of that I struggle with was piecing like my day to day, what the hell, just regular day, and also my subject matter together. And this is how we're going to string those together to make it flow naturally. So take, for instance, the content where I was talking about documenting, not creating. It was a completely different day, old footage, just wanted to get it out. I edited that footage like I normally would. That was about a 10-15 minute clip, I think. Just straight me in the car talking. Not super engaging, but it would be good for just a regular pillar piece of content. Then what I did behind that is I thought to myself, I said, this doesn't have enough substance to it. And that's actually all of your films. Most of your films probably don't have enough context to them. So what I did was I picked up the camera, 3:30 a.m., like I'm doing right now. This is the exact same thing. Is I decided to record an intro and an outro to this. And you should do this with every film. I'm telling you, it's going to make you'll be able to string together anything you want to if you do this. If not, your films are going to feel out of place and disconnected, especially if you show footage from a birthday and show footage from mashup mania or whatever, right? Like completely whatever. You right here, right now, this me, we're the narrator. So as long as they have this person, this shot right here from the very beginning to hold on to, you can connect odd random things to the story and it still feel natural. This centerpiece right here. So the intro was like, hey, what's up guys? I'm tired as fuck like I always am. And hey, did you guys know that yesterday was my son's birthday? I really wanted to make a film. And I want to talk to you guys about macro content. I just want to kind of let you guys know today's like yesterday was Titan's birthday, all that. So right there in those two spots, I was able to connect the two. I was able to just talk about two different things. You can say this however you want to. It doesn't matter. But as long as you make that establishing shot, this shot right here can pop up at any time in the film and add more focus, clarify, change, give a off topic real quick. Hey, just 1 second. You'll be able to do that. And that's going to make your films, one, much more dynamic because you can create a really nice talking headshot. You see how it's all nice blurred in background? Even if the footage isn't that good. So quality content, adding context, and stringing together random ass bits that may be in completely different realms. Try to keep it focused, of course, but some days that's just not the case. Some days you got a lot of stuff going on. Just like we have a conversation in day-to-day life where we talk about oh, I got coffee at Starbucks, and all of a sudden you're talking about I may be getting a puppy, or you can change that, but because you're right there and it's the same, you guys get the point. All right, let's talk about the export process. This is the secret to the madness. Here are the requirements to make this happen. You want to make sure that your film is only 10 minutes long. I know it's going to be hard. I know. If you have a long clip that just makes a lot of sense, that is in turn almost like 15 minutes or 5 minutes, that's okay. We can come back to that. We can use that as another little highlight film. We can use that, but know that your main film that you're doing, 10 minutes, hit that mark. Or at least try it for this time, and then maybe bend my rules. This is me just months of doing this, since January, of figuring out how to get the micro pillar stuff to work for a one-man team that has a crazy ass schedule. Next, you're just gonna finalize that film. You're gonna be happy with whatever that film was. Like, you know what I mean? Don't think about the micro pieces of content while you're editing the film. Just think about the film in total. You made a nice 10-minute film. This is it. You can do this with the current existing 10-minute film if you really want to. I guarantee you 90%. I'd give you a 90% success ratio versus like it not working. It's pretty high. There may be cases where it just does not work, but that's where you can add more and whatever. Anyways, 10-minute film, just how you usually do it. Now, let's chop this thing up. You're going to export the film. If you use Final Cut Pro, you should be using Final Cut Pro. You're going to export the film for a full video file, and you're going to export it for a full audio file. This is going to allow you to distribute it to your whole podcast thing. And trust me, just try it out. As long as most of your film is talking, at least 80% of it is talking, it's going to be perfect for podcast. Those little transition in between where you're doing your B-roll for like 30 seconds, that's okay. We need a little music in the background in the podcast too. Trust me. You're exporting it for video, exporting it for audio, and it's 10 minutes. Now, what you're going to do is upload that to YouTube. You're going to upload that to SoundCloud is what I use. You may have a different podcasting kind of platform, but upload it to SoundCloud, and that connects to all the podcast realms like iTunes, Apple Podcast, obviously, Spotify, all of them out there. That's the audio part. You upload that too, and it has to be under 10 minutes. I'm telling you, 10 minutes or under. This is very important. And then you're going to, 1 second. This is how I've been doing it. This guy, don't tell me you don't have any storage, because this is 16 gigs, right? I use this phone specifically just for adding content to Instagram. If you use a Mac, you're going to airdrop your video film to your iPhone. Make sure you have enough storage on the phone. You need probably at least 4 gigs or 3 gigs of storage, because that video size is going to be a little bit, I wouldn't say huge, it's probably going to be a gig or 2. Now, next thing, we're going to add this guy to IG, Instagram stories. So we're already putting it on 4, I don't know, I can't remember, 4 different platforms. I didn't say Facebook, but add it to Facebook too. But Will, I'm adding the same film all over the place. Yes, that's the whole point of this. We want to put it in the place where people are just watching. We don't want to force people to go, hey, go to my YouTube channel, hey, go over here. Like, that's cool, but try your hardest to reduce the friction. Try to get it to that person easily. You've got it to IGTV, you've got it to YouTube, you've got it to Facebook, you've got it to SoundCloud, you've got it to all your podcast things. Now comes the really cool part. Now, you could do what I do, and this will add to the amount of content you have. You can write an article about like the day. You're just kind of almost highlighting it, and then you can add that film to it. But that's not that's the extra bit. You don't have to write it if you don't want to. But this is the part where you can get a whole article in the moment, bam, right there on Medium and on Quoral and on your blog and on your newsletter. It's super simple because it's right in the moment. You've been watching this film for like 4 hours now, so you're just almost highlighting and talking about your day. But the micro content, the stories, this is what I really wanted to do. I wanted my stories to be like a film in Instagram. I wanted them not to be like this cheesy, really shoddy, not super good, just a couple of snaps. I wanted the stories to be the film. And I tried this before and it didn't work because I was trying to focus so much on different clips as which clip would be the best to add to the story. Screw that. This is what you're doing. Going into Final Cut, start from the very beginning with your keyboard. With your keyboard, we're going to press Control D, or I think it's like Alt D on like an Apple keyboard. It's the duration button in Final Cut. That's going to bring up the duration. And if you're at like 000, just type in plus 1500, excuse for this microseconds, and that'll take your timestamp to the next like 15 seconds ahead. If you don't know how to skip ahead like 15 seconds, just look it up on Google, like how to skip ahead 15 seconds or however many seconds. And then you're going to splice, and that's going to be Command B, that part. Sorry, back up 1 second. I know you're like already splicing. Make sure to highlight this entire film, the 10-minute film, as a compound clip. Compound clip is just pretty much grouping the clip together. I don't want to mess up your original film. We want to just mess up the compound clip versus the full film. So highlight the whole thing, compound clip. After that, every 15 seconds you're going to splice or cut that compound clip. Exactly 15 seconds. Every 15 seconds. Every 15 seconds. Every 15 seconds. You're going to have a total of 40 15-second clips. The reason why they're 15 seconds, and this is very, 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 very important. If you don't take anything from this, you make sure this happens, or else none of this will work. Instagram stories, Snapchat stories, they can't be over 15 seconds. So you're going to make sure that they are 15 seconds. You're going to end up with 40 stories. 40 stories. Let me just reiterate, 40 stories for this. That's insanity. That's crazy, right? Oh, I just went to, where are you? Oh. Big shout out to Apple Watch for unlocking this thing. 40 stories. That's insane. You're going to do the same process by airdropping those over to your phone. Make sure to delete that original film if you don't have much storage, like on your phone, so you can airdrop them. And pretty much just share them. You can multiple select them in Instagram. You can add them to Snapchat. You can add them to TikTok. All of them. Another big tip, and this is why I'm recording vertically, is there's a big shift to vertical films, and the stories, they just don't look right wide. You know what I mean? Like it's all smushed and whatever. So try filming your films vertically. I know that's a big ask. I know that a lot of people aren't going to do it, but I wanted to make vertical films that actually looked really nice. A lot of the IGTV stuff on Instagram it's not there yet. I wanted to make that happen. All right, very last chapters. After you've exported all of those films, and you can technically export them as audio clips too. The audio clips wouldn't really be great use for anything but for referencing back in future films, like to have 15-second kind of splices. But we're going to make chapters now. So every 4 15-second clips is going to be 1 minute. Very important again, 1 minute, 1 minute, 1 minute. You can't do over 1 minute or else it's going to mess up your thing. So highlight 4 of those 15-second clips in chronicle order and create a compound clip and put, C1. So for naming conventions, I'm doing season 5, episode 59, scene 1, so S1. And then for the chapter, it'd be, season 5, episode 59, C1 for chapter 1. Just so that you can keep track of the organization. You do that for every 10 clips, or you do that for every 4 15-second clips, and you'll end up with 10 chapters. What these 1 minute chapters are going to do for you are you're going to be able to upload these as just Instagram post or Facebook post or Twitter post or whatever it is. I use Buffer to distribute all over. But they're all exactly 1 minute, and they'll drive traffic back to your original post. What I do, like you just saw in this other film, is I add at the very top, especially for the 15-second clips, to watch the full film, look up Will Mosley, season 5, episode 59 or whatever, something like that. You guys, it's here somewhere. Thank you guys for sticking to the very end with this. This is definitely a 3-part film, but this is how you string together content that is absolutely different in subject matter while creating mad amounts of micro content that you can use and distribute. It's insane. Alright, I will catch you guys on the next one. I'm probably going to try to get an hour of sleep before I drive to work. So, alright, love you guys. Thanks for watching. I really hope you got value out of this. This is something I've been working on for quite some time, as you know, in the film. And I really think it's going to help a lot of people, especially those that are listening to the Gary Vee content and just wondering how the hell does this dude do it. Alright.